this one is emerging market.
Well, today in our series, the SIBOS Game Changer, we are joined by the very well-known economist, Dr. Atiur Rahman. He's also the governor of the Central Bank of Bangladesh. Dr. Rahman, welcome to the show. And first of all, congratulations on winning the Asia Pacific Best Governor Award. I'm sure you must be very, very happy to have received that award.
Sure. The award really goes to Bangladesh and also my hardworking people of Bangladesh. They have been the entrepreneurs. Bangladesh story is actually the story of the entrepreneurs, and also the space that has been created by the policymakers. So it's a very, very rewarding experience. The country, small central bank, but yet on the top of the agenda in Lima, actually. So I was very impressed.
Okay. And you have played a very important role in helping Bangladesh achieve that. Let me ask you first, perhaps, when we look at the financial industry today, and in particular in a place like Bangladesh, what do you think is the real game changer?
The real game changer is the courage. The Bangladesh had the courage. In fact, central bank had the courage from the day one, really, of the global financial crisis. We went for changing the real economy by using technology and also financial inclusive policies. When we started these financial inclusive policies, many of the critics said that the governor needs soul searching, because that is not central banking. But then I defined it as a mainstream central banking, because the demand from the external world was weakening because of the global financial crisis. So only option was to expand our local market, our domestic market. And you could have done that only through two means: by reaching more people, unbanked, unserved, underserved, through the conventional means, through directional bias. Secondly, you go by using technology. Take, for example, the mobile financial services. People were hesitant about giving a guideline to the entrepreneurs to go for these mobile financial services. But we gave a guideline as early as 2011, and you won't believe it, by now 28 million bank accounts have been created just because of the mobile financial service. The daily transactions is about 500 crore, which is about $500,000 or something like that. On the whole, about $1 billion is going every month. And would you believe it? 80% of the rickshaw pullers in Dhaka, and a similar percentage of the government girls, working in Dhaka, sending their money through mobile financial services. This is a game changer. I would call it the use of technology for and a regulated technology. Central bank is taking the lead, providing the guidelines, taking everybody on board, the banks and the other service providers, and at the same time telling banks to use their conventional banking simultaneously, so that we don't overdo, in the sense that our money supply should remain within the program, the monetary policy program. So we have brought in a kind of blend of the conventional monetary policy with this inclusive finance. So together, we're getting the benefits. You have seen it for the last 6 years. We have been getting 6.2% of our growth. Last year, it was 6.5%. This year, we are aiming 7%. IMF already upgraded our growth rate to 6.8%. So it's very easy. My own hunch is that we will grow 7+%. And ours is a quality growth. It's not, the growth is not coming from a couple of entrepreneurs or corporates. The growth is coming from all around, from the farmers, from the rickshaw pullers, from the small and medium entrepreneurs, from the women entrepreneurs, from the digital providers like Big Cash and others.
Okay.
So it's coming all around.
Is that important to you, the fact that you have reached out to people, to everyone, right?
Yes,
not just the big corporations, and
even the street children, they have an access to the banking services.
Right. And was it you feel the duty, perhaps, of the central bank to take the first step? Because that's what you did, and you said they had the courage.
No, we had the courage. Again, the mandate is very clean. The mandate is in the central bank mandate that you got to stabilize the prices, both within and external, but there is a third leg. They said that the central bank must encourage growth for public interest. So I took advantage of the words public interest. So public is all around. So we'll have to take them on board, and that's the reason we have touched. Initially, the bankers were a bit skeptical. They thought it is a big burden on them, because I had to give them a directional bias. That's what the Western central banks lacked. They created money and pumped in quantitative eased money, but they didn't give a direction where the money should go. But we too created money, but we gave a direction that money must go to productive sector. I say, others created money and put it in the air, so created a lot of problems, but I put money on the ground where the seeds were spreading and then the trees were coming. So the productive kind of sector we have put in, that has given this stability. You won't believe it, ours is the most stable economy in the region. Look at the inflation rate, it's moderate. Look at the growth rate, it's 6-7 plus. Look at the interest rate, it's coming down. Look at the exchange rate, it's stable like mountain, so everything falling in line.
But again, when you, it's like having a plant. When you plant the seed, it takes time to grow.
Yes.
So what you have done is you are near the early part when you're planting the seeds.
It took more than half a decade, more than half a decade to come here. Now all things are falling in lines and we're getting the benefits of it. Other countries are learning. That may be the reason the central bank, has been rewarded internationally 4 times over the last couple of years. That is a bit. I'm overwhelmed, but even then, I thought that could be the reason that they are recognizing the Central Bank of Bangladesh.
Okay, so what's next for you? What is the next step you feel the country needs to take? Where do you want to go?
No, my sky is my limit. My sky is my limit. I really want to take Bangladesh to the next step, which is now we are in the lower middle income. We want to go upper middle income. Then we want to become an advanced country by 2041. So that's my target. And for that, technology will play a very important role. This month, we are rolling out the RTGS. We have already done NPS, the National Payment Switch. We have the mobile financial services on board, which is giving big services, and we are improving the guideline. Finally, we are creating a lot of external kind of interventions. We are going for offshore Taka bond, as you all know, and we are going for green bonds. We are going for green finance. Ours is the only central bank of this level with a low income central bank which has gone green. We are putting money for green financing. Our green finance is well known all around the world. UNEP has just done an inquiry committee in a commission report. I was a member of that advisory commission report, and the report has been launched in Lima by the World Bank president. And there we have seen that the sustainable finance is the key word, and that Bangladesh is leading in the whole world. And China and UK now are joining in. So together we are making a global movement that we got to be sustainable. Green doesn't mean that only small things here and there. I think is the mindset, change in mindset. Now we will take away money from the unproductive and unsustainable sectors, high carbon sector. We'll put the money into low carbon sector, and long-term sustainability is our objective. So that's what we are doing in the name of sustainable finance, and inclusivity is the hallmark of that sustainability, and that is creating stability. Bangladesh is financially so stable because of all these interventions through inclusion, through interventions, again the regulatory guidelines which we are giving. Sometimes we are hand-holding. Say public banks are quite lagging in terms of technological interventions. So we are holding their hands and telling them to go for core banking solutions, telling them to fit in with our technological network, join our platform. So for that reason, we even give public good, give all the services ourselves to the public banks so that they can join in too. Private banks, of course, have been doing on their own. But we are also having a lot of global cooperation. Asian
Right.
Development Bank helping us to go for the RTGS,
Okay.
and the World Bank is giving us the support for the financial support project.
Okay.
And many other organizations are coming for. IFC is giving our bonds. So
let me ask you then, what are your main challenges?
my main challenge at the moment, it seems, is only because of human resources. I got to create human resources. We have been recruiting young boys and girls almost every month, and giving them world-class training, sending them all around the world, so that when they come back, they will become the strong base. So that's the one constraint I still have. This young, energetic people should join in. Secondly, I think one of the constraints is that it takes time to change the mindset of the entrepreneurs and also the banks and financial institutions. But fortunately, they have grabbed it. Initially they thought the governor is a crazy man, pushing it too hard. Now they think that it's a business case. So my challenge is to prove to them that the sustainable finance, the inclusive finance, the agricultural loans, the SME loans, these are good business cases. If they give money to the large corporates, many a times they can get stuck, and there is a source of instability. But if you give money to millions of these entrepreneurs, your base is solid, and you are much more stable. So it becomes a business case. So my challenge is to prove to the people, and the bankers particularly, the financial institutions, that this is a business case to go small and go green, go techno. That's the kind of message I'm giving, and that's the big challenge. And I think my words, they are taking it up. My communication strategy in the central bank is world class now. You are getting every day what I'm telling and what I'm saying. Our social media in the central bank is very active. My general manager protocol is around. He just doesn't even open, wait for seconds, pass the information to all around the world. So we are communicating. We are a very smart central bank from that perspective.
And that is very important.
That's very
important. Open forms of communication. Yeah. Do you have any regrets when you look back at what you've done in the last few years? Is there anything you wish perhaps you could have done a bit differently?
If I were actually aware of the potentials of this approach which I have taken, because I have taken out of box. No other central bank has done it. So since we are the first one, we may have made one or two mistakes here and there. So that is sometimes it regrets me that, why didn't we really communicate even better initially, that this is a good business case. That is the only regret I have. Now the communication is improving. People are believing in us. The whole world is believing in us. So it's good things that has happened. But I had to go through a lot of challenges, initially. Even, I had to really face the challenge of the supervision. That one or two, banking irregularities happened in the early days. If I had this technological support initially, probably I could have avoided. Now I can sit in my own chair. I can tell you, what is happening in what banks. I have done that much of, technological supervision now in place. But initially it was not there, So that's the only regret, that I should have started supervision using technology long back. But anyway, it has started. I'm getting the results.
Okay, and just one last question. So looking forward to the future, we know the sky's the limit, as you mentioned, and you have plans. But in the short term, maybe by the time next year's SIBOS comes around, what would you have liked to achieve?
No, we will have to immediately implement the RTGS, which we will be going live in a couple of weeks' time. So and again, while we'll go to RTGS, we'll not just go for connectivity. We'll not just go for transfer of the money. We need value-added services. Through RTGS, and if we can have partners, technological solution partners like, say, Swift or anybody else, we can then use for eKYC. We will go for remittance products coming from abroad. we will go similar kind of value-added products so that everybody, even the financial inclusion, will be technologically savvy as we are having, mobile financial services improved, and we'll have better guidelines. We'll have a national ID in place so that it becomes pretty secure. So my next year should be that it is a secure digital financial inclusion. That's my dream.
Well, thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
Rahman, for coming and sharing with us. Dr. Atiur Rahman there, a fascinating man, obviously a real game changer. Thanks for joining us here on SIBOS TV.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.